Hey guys, it's Mike with Outdoorfielder. I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on how to add your camera to the Spartan GoWireless website and use the premium feature on your camera. I've already actually signed up and we have a camera here, so some of the points that I'm going to go through are kind of going to breeze through them because our cameras are already set up, and I physically don't have a camera right now to program and add it here, but generally you'll get the idea of this quick setup guide here. Of course, you want to go to SpartanCamera.com. Once you actually go there, go ahead and create an account and sign in, which we've already done. This is actually the home screen that you're usually gonna probably be on most of the time, which is the camera management screen. And where you get here is actually go to My Cameras and then of course Management. That'll take you there. So the first thing you're going to do is, when you get to this screen, you won't see any of this because your camera will not be added by now so far. So you're going to go over here where it says Add New Camera. Click on Add New Camera. Give it a second here. I'm going to load up to the next page. On this page here, you'll find where you can give your camera a particular name, description. You can call it whatever you want to call it. Call it My Camera, Mike's Camera, whatever you want to call it. Here you want to add the camera's IMEI number or the IMEI number, whether you're using AT&T or Verizon, whichever you're using. And that will be displayed on the camera. There's actually some videos here that will go through the basic setup on how to find a modular and also how to register the camera, which that's the next thing you do. To register your camera, from there you're going to go back to the camera. You're actually going to turn the camera on to setup. The camera should already be programmed on your AT&T SIM card. Should already be programmed and active. So you're going to go into your camera. You're going to go press the menu button. You're going to tab over to where it says wireless and go down to send via. You want to make sure that is set to premium. Once it's set to premium, right below premium, you'll see where it says register camera. You're going to press the OK button and the camera will dial in that connect to the network, and it'll give you an actual registration code. When the camera gives you that code, you're going to come back and input that code right here where it says registration code. Once you do that, you're going to check this box here just to confirm the privacy. You can click on here and it'll actually bring up the privacy and term use policies and all of that. Click here and then go ahead and add the camera. Once you add the camera, it's going to bring you back to your camera management screen. Give it a second here, and it's running a little slow this evening. Once you add the camera, now you will actually see your camera here. You actually will see your MEID number or your MEID number for your Verizon or AT&T, whichever model you're using. You'll see all of this information here. A lot of this here may not be filled in. Sometimes it does take. I've seen this stuff here connect to the network within 5 minutes. Sometimes it may take an hour. So you may not necessarily see your battery strength, your signal strength, your card information, how many photos it's taken. You may not see all of this stuff automatically and right off the bat, which is no problem. And it looks like we need to actually go change our battery here. So that's an indication, something that you'll be able to see as well. So next you want to go to, once your camera's added, here you won't see any photos because we haven't taken any photos first, but of course we do have some. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to tab over here to the, no, you know what, let's go up to My Cameras again, and we're going to go down to Camera Setting. We're going to go into Camera Setting and set up, go ahead and set the camera features. Alright, now we're in the camera setting menu. Once this part here comes up, you'll see where it says camera properties. You'll notice it has your camera. If you have multiple cameras, you can press this little drop down tab and all of your cameras will be listed, so you can set each camera features up one by one individually. If you just have one camera, there won't be any more cameras labeled there. So we're going to go here. First one is camera settings. This is where you give your camera a name here. Call it whatever you want to call it. We just label ours right after the company. Camera mode, of course, you want it to send photos. The camera will not send video. It will save the videos to the SD card. It will only send photos. So of course, we want it on photos. You can set your resolution, 3, 5, or 8 megapixel. These are the actual resolutions that will be saved to your actual SD card here. You can change the thumbnail size. Here you can go with the standard normal 6x40 by 480 resolution, or you can actually increase the resolution and get a more clear photo that's actually being transmitted to your cell phone or email. Here it does use a little bit more data, so files being a little bit larger, where if you have it set to normal, 1 gig of data would generally take about 20,000 photos. If you switch it to here, it's going to decrease your photo limit to about 5,000 photos, which is really a lot of photos for especially a wireless camera. Photo burst mode, you can set that anywhere from 1, 2, or 3. Although you set this particular feature here, it'll only send the last photo. It'll save all 3 photos to your SD card and only send you the 3rd photo. So it will not send you all 3 photos. I don't think it will do that. Alright, so we're going to set that. Then we're going to set the trigger settings here. Of course, you generally want that set to normal. If it's colder, you want to actually set it lower to detect, smaller animals, birds, squirrels. That's really in the cold temperatures. If you're receiving too many photos, especially during the summer times, or when it's just really moderate or decent temperature outside, fall weather, you can set it to high to try to limit the camera detecting so many small animals, coons, squirrels, birds. Try to limit some of the trees and bushes from blowing. Trigger interval, you can set this if you want the camera to trigger anywhere from 30 seconds all the way up to 1 minute in between photos. I wouldn't go any lower than that because the camera does have to, it does take about 25 to 30 seconds on average just to transmit 1 photo. We generally keep our set to 1 minute, so it generally triggers and sends a photo every 2 minutes or so. This feature here, if you want the camera to send you a photo whether it detects motion or not. So you still can have your motion turned on, but if you want it to actually trigger anywhere from 30 seconds all the way up to 8 hours. Say for instance, if you wanted to trigger every 4 hours whether it detected motion or not, you can set it to there. So that's just a feature that does not operate off of motion. Start and stop time, you actually have start and stop 1 and start and stop 2. This particular feature here, if you do not want the camera to run 24 hours a day, you can set it at certain times to actually operate and turn off until the next day. If you want it to operate 9 to 5, it'll operate from 9 to 5, turn off, and turn back on the next day. You can set 2 interval time space, 9 to 5, turn off till middle of the night. You can do that as well. So they just added 2 different features, 2 start and stop features into the camera. If you leave these off, the camera will run 24 hours per day. There's no set limit on there. System settings, of course, you want to set your region in America. If you're in another state, find your time zone depending on if you're Eastern, Central, and of course West Coast. You find your time zone. You want the timestamp to stay on. Your photos are actually tagged with the timestamp and date. Flash power, you want it on high. This gives you your longer flash range for your nighttime flash. It does use a little bit more battery consumption. Overwrite feature, if you tend to use a smaller SD card, the cameras will support up to a 32 gig SD card. If you use a small SD card, You use the overwrite feature. When the card fills up, the camera will not stop taking photos. It'll just continue to write over the first start over on the card. But because it takes a 32 gig, most people do use anywhere from an 8 to 16 gig SD card, which we're talking about, 15,000 photos in general. That's a lot of photos. And then of course the wireless setting, real time allows you to communicate with the camera. You must have a phone number set up for your camera when you actually activate it, which you will get a phone number. This allows you to change settings remotely. You can add and delete phone numbers. You can change any of these settings here from the camera remotely once you set the camera out without having to go back to the camera here. In order for this here to work, you just have to make sure that you do have a phone number here. Just add your 10 digits, no ones, no spaces, no dash, just the 10 digits plus your phone number. The phone number of the SIM card, not your phone number. So whatever phone number that the network gave your camera, that's what you want to input here. Don't worry about this part here. We're going to bypass this here. Of course, you want to make sure this is turned on, and you want to set your daily limit to 0. 0 is unlimited photos. If you don't want unlimited photos, you can set this to 50, 100, anywhere to almost 10,000 photos per day. This is your daily limit, however. So, but 0 means it's just unlimited, and it'll take as many photos as it can per day. The next 5 or 6 sections is just a scheduled event section here, and this generally just gives you, if you wanted to set the camera to send you a status report, or you wanted to take a photo, something like that, every Monday, it would do that. So you can set a status report here throughout the week, 7 days of the week, at a certain time that you wanted to receive that status report or that photo every single day. So generally, this particular portion here, may not be a big thing for you. It's really just, if you want to have a status report, but you really can see all of that from the, if you go back to my cameras, back to the management page. Once you have all your settings, you want to come back up to the top, and you're going to go to schedule a settings update. Once you click on schedule a settings update, this here will come up. This camera will download these settings and update. Click OK, and you'll have a message here that'll say matter of fact, I'll go ahead and click on there. We didn't make any changes, so it really wouldn't matter here. And it's running kind of slow this evening. Get a message here, setting saved, a setting download has been scheduled. So this, if I had made any changes here, it would actually go to submit to the camera, and the changes will be submitted. So, but since I didn't make any changes, I'm just going to go ahead and cancel here. It's no worries. All right. So now that we have the camera set, what we're going to do, we're going to tab over here, and we're going to go to email contacts. So let's go ahead and add your contact information. And we have about 20 different people added to this camera to receive photos at one time. 20 different numbers. If you want to add someone's, you can add email and phone number mix. If you add a phone number, your phone number has to be in email format. Every different company has a particular email format. Like this is AT&T, so it's always your 10 digits at mms.att.net. Verizon has something different. It's your phone number at Verizon. If you don't have any idea, you can contact us and let us know who's your provider, and we can give you that email format for your particular cell phone carrier. You have T-Mobile, you have Straight Talk. So all of these different carriers will come in email format if you want to have your phone number set to receive photos to your text message. Once you input your phone numbers and emails, you're going to go over here and click update, and it's going to save all of your phone numbers or emails. So next we're going to go to my cameras again, and then we're going to go to delivery option. Once we get to delivery option, here you must come here to make sure that you have a check mark by anybody you want to receive photos. If these are not checked, they will not receive any photos or emails. So you want to come here to make sure all of the names are actually checked that are to receive photos when the camera is triggered. Once that is done, you hit update again. That will update in the system, and all of these numbers and emails will be ready to receive photos once the camera has detected motion. And then finally, after all of that is said and done, now you're ready to give the camera a test send. So basically what you would do is go back to the camera, turn the camera onto the setup position, wait for your signal to come up where it'll say AT&T or Verizon across the top. Once you see that, point the camera somewhere and press the OK button. When you press the OK button, it's going to ask you, do you want to send this photo? Now this is actually from the camera itself. You go ahead and press OK. The camera's going to cycle through saying upload, and it's going to say sending. Keep your eyes on it. It's going to be really quick. It's going to say sent in about maybe 20 seconds. Once it says sent, in about 10 to 15 seconds, you should receive a photo to either your cell phone, email, and also on your home page on your Spartan Camera GoWireless web portal page here, which is the camera management page. If you're already logged on that page, you can actually just go in and just do a refresh to see when it comes. Generally may take about 30 seconds to 45 seconds before that photo populates, but you should see a photo pretty soon. And pretty much that's going to be how you add your camera in a nutshell. And I think that would be it. The next thing we're going to talk about, and we'll do that in the next video, which will be how to add your camera to the web portal. And if anybody has any questions or concerns, be sure to contact us at sales@outdoorfielder.com. Sales, that's SALES, at outdoorfielder.com. And don't forget to check out our Facebook page at Outdoorfielder on Facebook.